Hey everybody, Dr. Laura Dabney here, and we are talking about lessons in love this month. I'm here to give you some practical and useful tips on how to navigate your relationships with your significant other, your children, and yourself. And lessons in love is a great lesson to pass on to your children, right? How to navigate dislike, like, and love. In the first video, I talked about when and how to introduce those to your child, and then how to dive a little bit deeper into those issues, especially if they're on a separate page from another child on that scale, when the child is older. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about practicing what you preach. This is the hard part as a parent, I understand, but it's, again, so incredibly important. You can talk all day long to your child in this appropriate ways we've been discussing in the last two videos, but if you aren't doing it, it's going to cause real havoc within your child, right? You're saying you shouldn't be taken over, but maybe you're trying to take over your child. Let's talk about that for starters. A lot of parents want to just do it because I said so. Stop doing it because I said so. Stop doing it because it's disrespectful. I get it. I do. I'm a parent. You just want something to be done, but it's not, it's the lazy way out, and it's not going to help your child or your relationship with your child. Trying to take your child over by demanding something or criticizing them is extremely toxic behavior. You wouldn't want them, I mean, can you see them with their boss, their coworker, their spouse one day going, it's disrespectful, stop doing that? Really? That's not really, I mean, I can't vision my child doing that. I wouldn't want to see my child doing that. Pretty sure you wouldn't want to see your child doing that. So you want to, I tell people this all the time, you want to play the role you want them to play one day. You want to give them the template they can use in their future life when you aren't around, which is, again, very hard for us to imagine, but it comes. And it comes before you expect it. So the sooner you can start this, the better. So instead of telling your child, instead of criticizing, demanding, or just going off the handle at them, tell them the words. You know, this is very, when you call me names like that, when you get angry, it's extremely hurtful. I've brought this up a couple of times and you keep doing it. What are we going to do about this? Because this hurts my trust in you. Now, I feel like I can't talk to you at all, or I need to stay away from you, and I don't want that to come between us. So you're telling them how you feel, and you're imploring them to help you solve this problem. It's much more relational than attacking them. Okay, similarly, I have a lot of parents who believe that just caving to your children, whatever your schedule is and whatever you want to do, we'll work around it. A lot of parents think that's the nice way to be, and that's how to be loving. Caving, loving do not go together. Again, try to vision your child in the future. Do you want them to go, okay, you want to drink a fifth of alcohol? Okay. You don't want them to be taken over by anybody, especially in college years when everybody's, practicing this stuff. You want them to be able to say, look, that doesn't work for me. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to go off and do this, and I'll see you later, right? This doesn't work for me. This is hurtful for me when you push me to do something. I've said no, and I really want you to respect me and our relationship and not push me to do that anymore. Okay? That's the work. You got to give them that template to use. They're not going to come up out of the blue, very unlikely. They don't teach it in school. And these kids are probably, not, if they do know this, it's hard for them to master at this point. So they're not going to learn it anywhere else. It's got to come from you. Number 3 in all this, in practicing what you preach, here is to not trash talk or let anybody else take you over in front of your child. Okay? Does that make sense? So if you start trash talking your friends or the parent of your child or the sibling of your child, please understand how toxic that is. It's just an awful predicament to put your child in, mostly if you're talking about someone that they love, right? So sort of putting them in this, you have to choose, or they're not going to trust you now if you're trash talking other people in the family. It's not a huge leap to think you're trash talking them behind their backs. Okay. So it hurts your relationship with your child. It doesn't give them the template that they need to go forward, which is something more along the lines of, gosh, my friend Susie has done this to hurt me several times. I talked to her about it. She keeps doing it. It's so bothersome to me. I think I might have to think about ending my relationship with Susie. Much different, right? Much different than, oh, that freaking Susie. She thinks she's so great. She just goes on, she says these mean things about me, and she thinks it's fine, and I just did it. You see the difference? Would you rather have your child doing number one or number two? Well, she's not going to know how to do number one unless you're showing her. And I mean consistently. Now, I say that, and I understand no one's perfect, especially when emotions are involved. But it doesn't mean you can't go back and say to your child the template. Give them the template. You don't have to be perfect to give them template. Go back and say, you know what? I made a terrible mistake. I trash talked your dad and in front of you, and I'm so very, very sorry I did that. I was upset and in the throes of being shocked, and that's not a good excuse, I know, but I just want you to know that I've talked to your dad and told him these things have bothered me, and we've worked out a plan. Okay, that's okay. Children respect that you can admit to a mistake. Again, another template. Admit to a mistake, and that you have a plan and you've solved it. No matter how old your child is, they want you to know that you got it as an adult. That doesn't mean the same as being perfect. That means you know when you've made a mistake and you've figured out a solution and you've got it. Okay? That builds the trust back up. All right. So that's practicing what you preach, which is a very important way to teach your child lessons in love. So of course, if you have any problems with this, give me a call, 757-340-8800.